And welcome back everybody to Let's Play Sonic Origins Plus. In the last episode, we went through the entirety of Sonic Blast for the Sega Game Gear, and I didn't have a fun time. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the last Game Gear game on our library here. We've done every game on here except one. And that's this one, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. This title was originally released only in the US and PAL regions for the Genesis. Sonic joins Has-Been, the hero of Beanville, to thwart Dr. Robotnik's evil machinations. I had this game growing up, and it's basically a puzzle game. If anybody's ever played Puyo Puyo in any form or fashion, that's what this game is. I had this game growing up on the Genesis, but I just now recently, when I got this, played it on the Game Gear, and it holds up pretty well. So without further ado, let's jump into Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Sega! This is the last time we're gonna hear this on the Game Gear. Yeah, this is our last Game Gear game to cover on this compilation. This is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which, as the title comes to a crawl, trying to form itself. This is kind of a out there game. It's not like any other Sonic game. It's a puzzle game. Like I mentioned before, this is Puyo. Whenever you start the game, you have many modes here. Scenario mode is the story mode. Gear to Gear is the multiplayer. Exercise is to kind of help you with things, and I think puzzle mode's a different thing. But we're just going to be looking at scenario mode, where it pits you against 13 stages of characters, CPUs you have to play Puyo Puyo against, and it gets really harder as time goes on. And this stage is kind of easy. I mean, it's the first stage, but if you've never played Puyo Puyo before, it's different than other puzzle games like Tetris. The main objective of Puyo Puyo is to get 4 colors to touch each other. 4 of the same colors to touch each other, which causes them to disappear and give you points. And it causes anything that is above said Puyo to, whenever it disappears, to fall down to where it was. So, like, I got rid of these Puyos here, and the other ones on top of it fell down. The main portion on how to get good at this game is to chain together Puyos. So what you gotta do is you chain one, which causes the other one to fall on top of another batch of 4 that'll match, and the chain keeps continuing. And the more times you do so, the higher your score gets. But it also helps in multiplayer against the CPU and stuff, because every time you complete a Puyo, you send garbage blocks over to your opponent. As you can see on my opponent there, he has a couple of garbage blocks, and he's about ready to get a bunch there. Garbage blocks are not color-coded, but if you complete a Puyo next to touching those garbage blocks, you can get rid of them. And that's how you get rid of them. The main goal is to overwhelm your opponent with garbage blocks, so that way he doesn't have enough room to continue the Puyo chains. And once you get to the top of the screen with Puyos, you can't put any more down, that's when you lose. So what you want to do is to kind of set up the Puyos in a way that allows it to drop and make multiple combos, which give you a lot more garbage blocks to throw on your opponent and kind of overwhelm them in a way. And the opponent does the same to you, but as you can see, we cleared out stage 1. It goes really slow at the beginning, but by the end of it, it goes really fast. So you got to start thinking faster as things go by. Anyways, we're into stage 2, frankly. Dr. Robotnik has sent like 12 of his robotic goons after us to challenge us in Puyo Puyo. Or to match beans. These are his mean bean machine. This is a machine that he's making mean beans from. I should also mention that this incarnation of Robotnik is not the same incarnation that we all know, and this incarnation of Robotnik is not the same as the one that from the video games. This version of Dr. Robotnik is based off of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. This is like the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon version of Robotnik. This game is basically ripped straight out from Sonic the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Everything is. We'll be seeing a couple of Robotnik's goons in this game, namely ones that we see from the TV show. I'll show you a couple of them whenever we get to them. But yeah, there's a couple of named characters from the TV show in here. And this is one of the reasons why it wasn't in Japan, I think, because I don't think the TV show aired over there. It aired in the USA and in the UK, but I don't think it aired in Japan. That's why Japan never got this game until recently. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is the Game Gear version. This game came out on the Genesis as well, and this is where I played the game. I think most people know the game from the Genesis version, and honestly, that game is a lot better in my opinion. Not to rag on this version is perfectly fine. There's nothing really wrong with this. This game responds pretty well. It's hard to screw up a puzzle game, but it's a really good version of the game. I'm not gonna knock it. It's just the Genesis version has a lot more character to it. It has a lot more style to it, because it's basically off the TV show and whatnot. But yeah, this game is really fun. I love this game a lot. This is one of the very first video games I've ever played in my life. Strangely enough, the Genesis version was one of the few games. I mentioned this story back when I started with Sonic 2. And as you can see, as you get closer to beating the robots, their facial expressions in the middle change. And they're like, oh god, I'm gonna lose. Like, yeah, Franklin's like freaking out and he's about ready to lose when he's, getting overwhelmed. And it also changes when you're getting overwhelmed too. Their face changes to I'm gonna win kind of face. I love that. That they kept that touch from the Genesis version. The Genesis version had that animation too, and I love it. But yeah, when I first played video games, I had a Genesis growing up. That was my first video game console I ever played. The first game I had for it, and one that really kind of started me playing video games in general, was a compilation cartridge called Sonic Classics Collection. It had Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on it. I know you'd think it'd be like, why isn't Sonic 3 on there? But that's because Sonic 3 is a bigger game, and you can't fit all that into one cartridge. They had to use 2 cartridges to make that game. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, that cartridge had Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on it. And that's how I played these games. It was my first video game, was that compilation. So Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine were the first games I ever played in my life. And when I was really young, I loved this game just because I liked the beans. I liked how they looked, and I liked how when they are like matched together, like in a form of like 1 or like 2 or 3, they kind of like blend together almost to make a big bean almost. And I just loved that when I was a kid. I was a simple child, and I was easily amused with bright colors and stuff like that. But yeah, I really liked that game. I didn't know how to play it though. All I know was, oh, I got a match 4. That's all I got to do. So that's what I did. I didn't understand the concept of chaining or whatever setting up Poyos to chain, so that way it could send garbage blocks over to my opponent. I always lost around the second stage. The first stage is nothing, but the second stage, I could never get past it. I couldn't get past it, frankly. So, yeah, that's kind of how far I got in this game. It wasn't until recently I actually sat down and played through the Genesis version. I kind of got inspired to play it after I beat this version of the game when I was doing my test recording. And I actually beat it for the first time in my life, and I had to use save states. That's one thing I needed to kind of mention here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This game isn't really, like, hard, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at Puyo. Puzzle games, I love puzzle games, but I'm not good at them. It may look like I'm having an easy time. This is stage 3, and looks like I haven't died yet. No. As every other recording in this version, I save state right before every stage, and I play the stage. If I lose, I'll load the save state. Granted, it's not a big deal in this game, because if you die, you just get a game over, and you just hit continue, and you start from the stage that you were on. It's not like you have to start the whole scenario mode over again. No, it saves the spot you were at, and you can start over and everything, so technically I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is saving time, which, at my age, I appreciate it. But yeah, like, I finally beat the Genesis version after playing this version and beating it for the first time, when I knew I was going to record all these Game Gear games. And I gotta say, the Genesis version, I really love that version of the game. It is so good. I know we're not talking about I'm not playing the Genesis version, I'm playing the Game Gear version. But yeah, I gotta admit, I just love the Genesis version a lot, and I gotta recommend it. Even if you're not really that good at Puyo Puyo, I really recommend playing it. It's really fun. It has a lot of character, and for a license, I guess this is a licensed game. It's a really good licensed game, in my opinion, growing up. I watched the TV show, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, a lot growing up, so when I saw this game was based off of this when I was younger, I was super excited, and I really liked this game. Even though I wasn't good at it, and I kept losing all the time. This is stage 4. This is against Coconuts. Coconuts was a character in Sonic the Hedgehog. Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I keep saying that. I keep wanting to say Sad AM. That's not the right game. That's not the right show. Sad AM is a sequel cartoon series. And it's a much darker one, and that Robotnik is not based off of the one that's in this game. Sonic had like 3 TV shows in the 90s. 3. And Mario only had 1. Who was more popular, Sonic or Mario? At least Sonic had 3 TV shows. But yeah, like, Coconuts was one of Dr. Robotnik's lackeys. There's 2 more famous ones, and we'll see both of them in this playthrough. But Coconuts was kind of one of them that was in the background a lot. Like, he did stuff for Robotnik. Like, there were some episodes focused around him, but he wasn't like a major character in that show. And he always was like trying to get on Robotnik's good side and make the other robots look bad. That's kind of how I remember this guy's character. He's kind of a two-timer guy. He just wanted to make himself look good and make everybody else look bad. So that way Dr. Robotnik depended on him, not anyone else. But yeah, gosh, I need to sit down and watch the show again. It's been a long time since I watched that cartoon. But as you can see, starting in stage 4, the Poyos are coming down just a little bit faster. So you kind of have to look ahead at your next blocks, which in the middle of the screen says next. That's the next color combination of Poyos that are coming down, so you can kind of think ahead what to put down. So, like, this is kind of where the part where it kind of really encourages you to trying to make combos. Try to like line up your Poyos enough so they fall on each other. And like I said, I'm not good at this game. I'm only showing you the the ones where I win. So to put it lightly, like I said, I'm not good at puzzle games. This game took the longest to record. Out of all the Genesis game, see, I got a good spot there. There we go. Yeah, look at all that garbage on Coconut's side. And he keeps dropping, because the more you drop, they kind of go in waves. If you have, like certain combos and there's just too much, they just like, okay, we'll send this amount, and then the next wave we'll send this amount, whatever's left over. But we beat Coconuts. This was the flat-out longest Game Gear game to record for this series. There's been times I was like, okay, what's gonna be the longest game to record? For the longest time, I was like, it's gonna be Tails Adventure. Surprisingly, no, Tails Adventure is like the third longest one to record in this series. Oh my gosh, I didn't expect these last couple games to be so long for me to record, but it's not the game's fault. The game is perfectly fine, and it's perfectly fair. Like I said, this version is a good version of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beat Machine. The only problem is, I suck at this game. Flat out. This is a game that requires skill and thought precision. This isn't a platformer. This isn't like an easy platformer. This actually requires some skill. So I ended up losing quite a bit in this version, this recording session. Like I said, I'm only showing you the attempts when I win, because if I didn't, you'd be looking at like a 6-7 hour recording session. Yes, that's how long it took me to beat this game. Yeah, I had to take breaks in the middle of it too, because I was getting frustrated. It's not the game's fault, it's my own skill. I'm not good at, like, me and puzzle games. I love puzzle games so much. I love Tetris. I love Puyo Puyo. I love all these games. These games are fun to me. And they're, you know, very easy pickup games that kind of calm me down when I want to play something simple that not gonna require too much. Well, I say require too much brain work. No, these games take a lot. This guy though, I remember this one in particular. This was my first attempt. I beat him on my first attempt. So, yeah, this guy didn't take very long. But no, I have trouble trying to actually play good in puzzle games. To put it lightly, I have like 100 hours recorded on Tetris 99 on my Switch. I've played Tetris 99 for over 100 hours for all the years it's been available. I have never gotten a Tetris Maximus. I have never won a single Tetris 99. I think the closest I ever got was 6th place. That tells you how not very good at puzzle games I am. Granted, I know Tetris is a totally different beast in this game, but yeah, that just kind of tells you how kind of bad my skills are with puzzle games, as much as I like them. And then, like I said, it's not the game's fault. It's hard for me to think 3 stages ahead of things. I know some people that can think of things to put where and where to put what, so things fall down in certain directions. Props C, I can't think that far ahead. Like, I try to. I try to set up combos in this game, and sometimes my brain doesn't say, okay, you gotta put this part here. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you putting that part there? Now I screwed up my combo. There's been plenty of times that you probably see in this video, and I'm sorry. Sorry, this is cringe. If my gameplay is cringe, I am sorry. But, like, I bet you any amount of money people who play these games regularly, probably saw a bunch of combos I couldn't make that I couldn't see. And even watching back, sometimes I catch myself, I was like, I gotta put that block, that color there, and probably change something pretty well. But, like I said, I'm just not good at these games. I got lucky here, I got a 3 combo here, and threw it over here. This guy, this stage, stage 6, I hate this stage. I was on this stage for like, I want to say 3 hours. Well, not 3 hours, 2 hours. Sorry. 2 hours I was on the stage. I don't know, I just don't like this stage. I had to kind of chain together like multiple ones here. Luckily, I got lucky and he got to the top by accident. But yeah, I love this. I love these games. It's just I'm not good at them. So I want to just apologize to everybody who watching this and saying, dude, you're not very good. Yeah, I'm not very good. I know. I'm not very good at all at these games. It doesn't mean I don't like them. This stage is hard too. This stage right here. I told you it was the longest recording session I had to do for this project. Yeah, so this is the beginning of my second session. Yeah, I had to take 2 sessions to record this. When I got to finish stage 6, I said, I'm done for the night. I think that was... After that, I just went to go watch a movie, because I just said I need to get away from the game for a little bit, because I was getting frustrated. Because the recording wasn't going out as well as I thought. I say that, and it was fine. I knew as soon as I recorded the raw here, I'm just taking my good takes here. But yeah, like, this took at least 7 hours for me to completely record. I think, like I said, Tails' Adventure took like 4, I think, altogether for me to beat the game entirely. And like Sonic Blast was the second longest, but that's just because of playing two playthroughs of a horrible slow game. This stage, stage 8. This is Grounder. This is a main character of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I may have talked about Grounder a couple times in the playthrough. I love this guy. Grounder is funny because he's kind of the dim-witted lackey of another character in the show. And the concept of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is it's more or less like a like Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner Looney Tune, where Dr. Robotnik's trying to catch Sonic and, you know, take over the world, obviously. And Grounder here is one of the main characters that tries to catch Sonic in almost every episode. But, of course, Sonic and Tails are too good for them. You outsmart him in every episode. We beat Grounder pretty easily. It actually took like 3 tries for me to beat Grounder. But, yeah, Grounder's one of the main characters. He's more of the dim-witted one of the 2 lackeys. This stage is where things start to heat up. As you can see, the background has changed, the music has changed, and it's going a lot faster. This is kind of where things get a little bit tricky, and this is kind of where my skills my lack of skills start to show their rear head. I had so much trouble in these later stages. Like, starting to stage 9 is kind of where I was starting to fumble on, making a lot of stupid mistakes. Like, right here, I could have saved that green to get the one on the bottom and start a chain reaction. I don't know if I had anything set up for a chain reaction, but we could have started one, for all I know. I know if I got rid of that green right down there, I would have probably chain reaction that stuff right there. I almost lose here. Like, look how close I am to losing. But luckily for me, I had just the green there and it chain reacted, and I'm starting to come back a little bit. This is one of the ones where I actually, like, came back from a almost loss. Like, I almost lose the whole match here, but I come back. And I like whenever those happen because then things get a little bit more, more intense a little bit. Now he's starting to, you know, pile up the trash there. I got a chain combo like 2, and he had a bunch higher up already, so. And right before you know, yeah, he lost. Yeah, this one I had to do like over like 60 bazillion times. But I finally got it, and I thought I was going to have to lose this one, but I came back. Stage 10, Sir Fuzzy Logic. What kind of name a robot is that? This stage sucks. I don't like this stage. Mainly because I just, like I said, it's starting to get really fast, as you can tell. The beans are coming down a lot faster than before. But, yeah, I had so much trouble trying to set up a combo here. And I lost a bunch of times. Had to reset like, I want to say like double-digit amount of times. I can't remember. I just remember this took like, I think an hour. I think. To finally beat him. Well, that's just because I had a combo of 4 here. And a bunch of crap on his side. I was lucky I chained together 4 there. I made it look easy, but no, he was my bane for a little bit. I was stuck on Mr. Fuzzy Logic there. Stage 11, Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath is another one of those hard stages, but this one took me 3 times. It took like 3 times to beat him. Mainly because I think just like earlier stages, I have more trouble than I do later stages. Like, I noticed that when I was doing my practice run, too. I found myself having easier time in the later stages than the ones in the middle. The ones in the middle are the ones that give me trouble. I'm trying to set up a tower here to make it so that way I can, you know, drop blocks here and chain together things. I had a block of 3 there, and he's like, oh my gosh, how'd you do that? Yeah. I had to think about, like, trying to make towers and chain things together. I've gotten better at Puyo. Even though I'm not very good, I got better at Puyo through this game. Stage 12, penultimate stage. This is Scratch. This is the other main character of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. This is the smarter of the two lackeys of Scratch and Grounder. Scratch is the one that comes up with the plans. He's the one that makes the schemes that him and Grounder tried to find to catch Sonic. I like Scratch because I just remember when I was a kid, he'd always go all the time. I'm sorry if I broke anybody's ears, but yeah, that was the sound he made in the show. I like Scratch though. I think Scratch he was funny because he's a chicken robot. He has long, lanky limbs and everything else. I just like that show. I miss it. I watched it a lot when I was younger. But then again, I just loved everything Sonic when I was a kid. I mean, I hadn't changed in 30 plus years, but yeah, I just loved everything Sonic related when I was a kid. But yeah, Scratch is the other character of the duo of Dr. Robotnik's lackeys. Like I said, we saw Coconut every now and then, but he was the one that wanted for Scratch and Grounder to fail all the time and make him look good, so Dr. Robotnik depended on him instead of those two. He was the one that kind of messed with their plans a little bit to make himself look good. There we go. We got combos going now. And Scratch is like, what are you doing? And there we go. He lost. But yeah, that was the penultimate stage. That was stage 12. Now we're going on to the final stage of the game. And that's against Dr. Robotnik himself. Yeah. Stage 13 is against Dr. Robotnik. And the music's changed, and things are set on max. Speed is set on max. Like, look how fast these things are coming down. They're crazy. I'm so surprised I can manage to keep up with this. Of course, I lost a couple times to Dr. Robotnik, but yeah, like this is getting where things are getting a little bit too fast for my liking. But yeah, he's trying to set up combos, and if you let Dr. Robotnik do it, he will set up like a combo of like 4 or 5 on you, and then pretty much decimate you because there ain't no way you're coming back with all those garbage blocks. But because I have a chain of 3 here, there we go. We beat Dr. Robotnik. Pretty easy. I think this took like 5 times to beat him, but I did it. But once you do... Oh no, his machine broke. And all the beans are happy because they're free. And that's the end of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Like I said, it's kind of an odd game for a licensed game based off a TV show, because most licensed games during this day and age, they were just platformers and stuff like that. No, this one's a straight up like Puyo Puyo puzzle game, and because it's Puyo Puyo, easy to play. It's pretty much guaranteed to be a good game if it's Puyo, right? Wouldn't say that, but like you can't really go wrong with Puyo. It's a good concept, and I just love that. I just love this game, mainly because of nostalgia reason. But yeah, I really like this game. I can't really say anything other than that. I just wish I was better at this game. I just wish I was better at Puyo in general. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's our last Game Gear game, too. Once we come here to thank you for playing. One weird thing about this here, and I had to cut this part here, too, but there is, like, it's stuck on the screen. Like, I stayed on it for a good 5 minutes, and it wouldn't change. So I just had to load up the title screen again. Yeah, so once you beat the scenario mode, it's kind of one of those games where it just stays on the end screen, and you just have to turn off the game. I don't know why. But yeah, that's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So without further ado, I'm going to go back to live commentary, Matthew. Oh man. But yeah, that was Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine for the Sega Game Gear. Like I said, this is like one of my first video games I ever played in my life. I'm not very good at it still, even to this day, but I really like this game, still to this day. And with that takes care of all the Game Gear games in this game. Yeah, we've played every single Game Gear game in this compilation. So, with that out of the way, the Game Gear section is 100% done. Yay! So, what's left in this game that we haven't checked out? There's a couple things left we need to do, and I plan on showing that starting next episode. So, in the next episode of Let's Play Sonic Origins Plus, we're going to take a look in the Sonic 3 and Knuckles section, because there is one mode I haven't checked, and that's Blue Spheres. So with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode.